Imagine standing on a hill where the wind smells like the sea, and the stones beneath your feet were once walked on by philosophers, poets, and warriors thousands of years ago. Before there were countries, before there were maps, there was a story carved in marble, sung in epic poems, and carried across seas by fearless sailors. The land where Zeus ruled the skies, Athena gifted wisdom, and everyday people built cities that reshaped the world. It is the cradle of Western civilization and where democracy was born. So were theater, philosophy, and the Olympic Games. Welcome to Greece, ancient soul, modern heart, where mountains rise behind sunlit islands, old men play backgammon by the sea, and young Greeks launch startups in the very cities where Plato and Aristotle once taught. But before we dive deeper into the myths, the monuments, and the Mediterranean magic, let's zoom in and get our bearings and start with the basics. It is a country in southeastern Europe, situated on the southern tip of the Balkan Peninsula, nestled between the Aegean, Ionian, and Mediterranean seas. It also shares land borders with Albania, North Macedonia, and Bulgaria, and Turkey. Capital and the largest city is Athens, one of the oldest cities in the world. I am looking forward to exploring more about the city in our Capital Cities series. It is coming out in a few weeks. So, if you are not subscribed yet, it is time. I appreciate your support. As a member of the European Union, Greece's currency is the euro, just like much of the European Union. The official and main language is Greek, one of the world's oldest living languages. The population is just over 10 million people. This is the Greek flag. At first glance, the looks simple blue and white stripes with a cross in the corner, but every part of it tells a story. Blue and white represent the sea and the sky of Greece, both essential parts of Greek life. In the top left corner, you'll see a white cross on a blue square. This stands for the Greek Orthodox Church, which played a major role in uniting and preserving Greek identity during centuries of foreign rule. The flag has 9 horizontal stripes, alternating blue and white. These stripes represent the 9 syllables of the famous Greek revolutionary phrase: Epsilon lambda, epsilon, upsilon theta, epsilon rho, alpha theta nu alpha tau, omicron sigma, eleutheria e thanatos, which means freedom or death, the motto of the Greek War of Independence against the Ottoman Empire. Each stripe is represented by 1 syllable. Pretty clever, right? The flag is simple yet beautiful. Speaking of beautiful, let's explore the beautiful land.
Geography!
Greece has one of the most unique landscapes in the world, a mix of rugged mountains, thousands of islands, and a beautiful winding coastline. It is the 95th largest country in the world. About 80% of Greece is mountainous, making it one of the most mountainous countries in Europe. The most famous peak is Mount Olympus, the mythical home of the Greek gods, and the tallest mountain in Greece at 2,917 meters. Did you think Greece was all beaches? Sure, they have a lot of those too, with all those islands and peninsulas. Greece has 11th longest coastlines in the world, about 13,700 kilometers. Did you know? Greece has over 6,000 islands and islets. Okay, some of them are small rock, but they count. Only about 227 of them are inhabited. Crete is the largest and most populous with over 600,000 people. Others like Santorini, Mykonos, and Rhodes are famous for their history and beauty. These islands are scattered across 2 main seas, the Aegean Sea to the east and the Ionian Sea to the west. Greece doesn't have many big rivers because of its dry climate and rocky terrain. Most rivers are small and seasonal, but has several beautiful lakes, some natural, some man-made. Lake Trichonida is the largest natural lake. It's surrounded by mountains and full of birds and fish. But one of the unique lakes is the glowing underground lake in Melisani Cave, a magical spot where sunlight makes the water shine electric blue. Greece also has some beautiful waterfalls. Odessa is famous. Water cascades down right through the city, and it looks like a fairy tale. The Vikas Gorge, part of the Vikas Ouse National Park, holds the Guinness Book of World Records as the deepest gorge in the world. Another breathtaking beauty is Meteora, the sky monasteries. Nature built rock towers, and humans built monasteries on top of them. Some of these holy places are nearly 700 years old and still active. In the old days, monks used very tall ladders. We are talking over 300 feet to climb the rock. There are so many amazing places. I can't list them all, so let's move on to the more practical side of land: agriculture. Even though much of the land is rocky and not ideal for farming, about 15% of the land is arable. Greeks have been growing olives, grapes, and citrus in flat areas for centuries, and still has a vibrant wine and olive oil industry. Now that we've explored the stunning landscapes, from sun-soaked islands to rugged mountains, it's time to dive into something just as epic: the history. Because if there's one place on Earth where the past still echoes through the streets, it's Greece. Let's rewind the clock and see how this land shaped the world.
History!
Once upon a time, in a land of rugged mountains and sparkling seas, a small corner of the world gave birth to ideas, stories, and heroes that would shape the future of humanity. This was Greece, not just a country, but the stage where history, philosophy, and democracy first took center stage. Thousands of years ago, the Greeks built cities, sailed across the Mediterranean, and traded goods like olive oil, wine, and pottery. They weren't just farmers or merchants, they were storytellers. They created a world of powerful gods and epic heroes like Zeus, Athena, and Poseidon, weaving myths that explained everything from lightning to love. But this was just the beginning. About 2,500 years ago, Greece wasn't a single country, but a collection of independent city-states, each with its own government and culture. The most famous, Athens and Sparta. In Athens, philosophy, art, and science flourished. Thinkers like Socrates, Plato, and Aristotle asked big questions about life, justice, and the universe. Athens also gave birth to democracy, a revolutionary idea where citizens could vote and help shape decisions. Sparta, on the other hand, was built for war. Every Spartan was trained to be a warrior from a young age. While Athens debated, Sparta prepared for battle, and the two powers often clashed, including during the long and bloody Peloponnesian War. Then came a new kind of leader, Alexander the Great, a brilliant young king from Macedonia. By the time he was 30, he had conquered an empire stretching from Greece to Egypt, Persia, and India. With him traveled Greek language, art, and ideas, blending with other cultures in what became the Hellenistic era, one of the richest cultural periods in ancient history. But even legends have their falls. By 146 BC, Greece was conquered by the Romans and became part of the Roman Empire. Roman rule brought roads, trade, and new architecture, but Greek culture remained strong. In fact, the Romans admired Greek art, language, and philosophy so much that Greek ideas influenced Roman education, religion, and politics. Then, in the early part of the 4th century, the Roman Empire split into two: Western Rome and Eastern Rome, also known as the Byzantine Empire, with its capital at Constantinople, modern-day Istanbul. Greece became part of this Christian empire, which lasted for over 1,000 years. During this time, Greek became the main language, and Greek scholars helped shape early Christian theology. Monasteries and churches were built, and Greece became one of the cultural and religious centers of the Byzantine world. But nothing lasts forever. In 1453, the Byzantine Empire fell when Constantinople was conquered by the Ottoman Turks. One by one, Greek territories fell, and by the late 1400s, most of Greece was under Ottoman rule for nearly 400 years. Life was hard, but the Greek identity endured, in secret schools, in folk songs, and in the stories passed from one generation to the next. In 1821, the Greeks had had enough. The Greek War of Independence broke out, led by poets, priests, peasants, and fighters. It was long, brutal, and often desperate. But with determination and support from European nations like Britain, France, and Russia, Greece won its freedom. By 1830, modern Greece was officially born, but the journey wasn't easy. Through the 20th century, Greece faced wars with neighbors, World War II occupation, a civil war, and periods of military dictatorship. Still, the people never stopped fighting for democracy and progress. In 1981, Greece joined the European Union, stepping confidently onto the modern global stage. Today, Greece is a modern country with an ancient soul, a place where you can eat souvlaki under a 2,000-year-old temple, hike through ruins once walked by philosophers, or swim near islands mentioned in Homer's epics. It's the land that gave us theater, philosophy, democracy, the Olympic spirit, and the ideas that shaped the world. Its story, still being written by its people, its culture, and the echoes of the past that still inspire the future. This video is long. Part 1 ends here. Now you know where Greece is, the meaning of its flag, physical geography, and history. That is a lot to digest. So, let's meet again in Part 2 and meet the people of Greece, explore their vibrant culture, and see how history shapes their everyday lives and economy.